Hey guys, welcome back. Continuing with the trend of showing you decks that will get support in the near future. I want to show you the new support for Centurion because I think this is one of the strongest support waves that a deck will get in the future. This makes the deck way better. It has a nice long combo now that you can do with one card, the Primera only. Nibiru is only our discard, but you will always have a discard, so I don't really count a 1.5 card combo. This is a 1 card combo because in the starting end you have 5 cards, so you can always do this if you have a Primera. I will show you the cards and then afterwards we will look at a deck list where I also talk about all the new cards coming for Centurion and explaining to you what are the most important ones. We'll also talk about a very interesting thing concerning the Mulch armies that we will get in the future and how Centurion could fade then. So let's start here. We are playing at Centurion Primera and I will show you all the new cards. Primera has animation, very nice. We are activating Primera to get to our field spell. This is where we need this discard for. Activating the field spell, discarding the Nibiru to get to a card that we already know, the Trudea. We are summoning the Trudea and we are summoning it back to get the Gargoyle, and here you can actually, and this is new, it's not new because Gargoyle was able to be a level 4 monster before, but you can actually reduce Gargoyle's level to a 4, which we do here, so we have a level 8 now, and you might wonder, okay, level 8, what's happening here? We get the new card Centurion Primera Primus, and this card is really great. A level 8 tuner needs 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner. This special summon card cannot be destroyed by battle unless it was summoned from the extra deck, so in this case it can. You can only use once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add 1 emblema card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then you can destroy 1 card on both players' fields. If a face-up Centurion card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So this can search an emblema card, and obviously this searches Emblema Oath. Very nicely, we can also chain our Gargoyle to get it back to the hand, chain blocking the Primera Primus, and now we are grabbing our Emblema Oath, and this is really cool. Obviously we have the field spell already there, but we can set another Centurion monster in the spell trap zone, and we are setting the new Centurion Artery. Also a very nice one. It's a level 4, it's a tuner, so another tuner here, which is the most important fact about this card. You will play this at 1. If this card you control will be used as synchro material, you can treat it as a non-tuner, so this is a tuner and a non-tuner, very effective. And then if this card is normal or special summoned and you have both an emblema card and a Centurion card in your graveyard, which we will have in a second here when the emblema of goes to the graveyard, then we can also draw 1 card, which is very nice, and we can special summon this like all the Centurion cards from the spell trap zone. This is nothing new here, but we will able to draw a card with this. So we are summoning the Artery and then we are drawing a card because we control, or we have an emblema and a Centurion card in the graveyard. Now we can randomly draw 1 card, very nice, and now we can just go ahead and synchro into Centurion Auxiliar. And there's a new cool combo that you can do right now because we have this Primera Primus in the graveyard. We are adding the Wake Up Centurion, not a new one. We can create a token with this, and we will create a level 4 token here. Then the Wake Up Centurion goes to the graveyard. We can activate the second effect, which allows us to send a Centurion card to the graveyard. We are sending Centurion Phalanx, the banish card, which also has the effect to be banished from the graveyard, and then a special summon a synchro monster back to the field. So we are getting back our Centurion Primera Primus, and now obviously we have a level 4 and a level 8, which allows us now to go into a Crimson Dragon here. The Crimson Dragon, you know, the play targets our Auxiliar going into a Cosmic Blazer Dragon. And now we can go to the end phase where Auxiliar can place, in this case, the Artery, because we will be able to draw again next turn a random card. You could also place the Primera, the only difference being that the Artery would draw us a random card where the Primera would get us a searched Centurion card. So whatever you need here, or you think you need in this case with this hand, I would argue that we just want to draw a random card, you should place here. Then we can pass over. And the really cool thing about this new combo is that now we can do the following. So our opponent does something and now we are able in the main phase to go for our combo. Here we go Trudea 1, Artery 2. Artery will summon and we draw a card, very nice here. Also follow up, and then Trudea will change the level to 8. Artery draws 1 and we can synchro summon here. And what you might not have known, but we'll find out now, is that we can make a Crimson Dragon here, tagging out the Auxiliar, or tagging itself out by the Auxiliar basically, to summon another Cosmic Blazer Dragon. You are actually able to get 2 of them to the field and they can both activate their effect. And if you are not aware how Cosmic Blazer Dragon works, it's basically so that it will banish itself for the activation, and then you can Solemn Judgment a monster summon. You can basically stop an attack and end the battle phase, or you could also negate the activation of a card and destroy it. So this is an omnigate for everything, and this will return to your field in every end phase, and you can use any one of them, so both can be used in one turn and they will both come back. So this is not like a Baron de Fleur, which one time when it's up on the field is an Omni Negate, but you have two Omni Negates here, which are like complete Omni Negates. They negate everything and they can't be interacted with, right? This is the crazy thing about the Blazer Dragons, because they are getting sent as cost to the banishment pile, means you can't really interact with them. You can't battle over them because they have this battle effect. So they will return, and obviously in terms of a grind game, this is extremely strong, but having two Omni Negates is also extremely strong. And keep in mind that we have done all this with one card in the hand, which is actually crazy. Now let's hop over into a deck list, and I will show you the other new Centurion cards that we will get that are not that great as the ones you have seen now, and then I will also take or talk about Mulch Army, which is also very important in my opinion for the future of this deck. Alright, here's the deck list, and now let's first take a look at all the new cards. So we have already looked at the Artery. Another new card that we will get is the Cimelia, which says level 4. It's Pyro. When your opponent activates a monster effect as chaining 2 or higher, you can activate this effect. The activated effect becomes your opponent places one Centurion monster from their face-up field or graveyard in their spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous. So this is really nice. And during the main phase, if this card is a continuous trap, you can also special summon this. So it's actually a cool card, but then again, when your opponent activates a monster effect, it's chaining 2 or higher, so this basically refers to any hand traps. You can definitely negate the hand trap then. This is something that you could play, but I'm not quite sure how good this really is in Centurion, because you don't keep your monsters, Centurion monsters on the field so that they can protect you, but you normally use them to go into synchro summons, right? So in my opinion, this is a bit counterintuitive to how you want to play the deck and how you want to use the monsters. Then we have already talked about, as I said, the Artery as well as the Primera Primus. We'll also get Emblema Salvation, so a new Emblema card. Banish one face-up Centurion monster card from your spell and trap zone, then target one card your opponent controls, banish it. Very nice. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by or banished by an opponent's activated effect, you can place 2 Centurion monsters with different names from your hand, deck, and graveyard, or your banishment in your spell and trap zone. So this is not that likely to happen, so the first effect is the more relevant one, I guess, which this is not a bad card. You can definitely, if you want to play this, so that you, for example, we don't have it in this list here, but you could play this so that you, if you search your Emblema card with your Primera Primus, if you already have used your Oath, you don't need to search an Oath for follow-up, but you could also use Emblema Salvation. The next card we are getting is we have the Bonds already, and we have the Awakening already, so all the other cards we have. So these 4 cards are the only ones that are remaining here, with Artery and Primera Primus being the strongest ones. And you can see right here, and this is also a cool thing, if you have that Centurion stuff already, you see that you don't need a lot of extra stuff. You need 1 Artery, which this might be an ultra rare, might also be a super rare. The Centurion Primera Primus will probably be an ultra rare, but you can also get away with having this at 1, I think, and then you can make a second Cosmic Blazer Dragon for this insane play that I just showed you. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the Mulch armies, right? That will definitely come to us in Master Duel over the next few months. So we have the new Maxis basically, right? We have the Purulia, which when something is summoned from the hand gives you a draw. We have the Fuvaros, the best one, which when something is summoned from the deck or extra deck gives you a draw. And then we will also get in the future, and there's not an English name here, but the new one that basically gives you a card whenever something is summoned from the graveyard or banishment. And I think what these, and Jesse Cotton made a good point concerning this, what this might lead to in the future, and remember we also have the Maxis, so we have basically 12 Maxis if you want to count it like this, even though the Purulia and the new one are not that strong, but this is basically a Maxi, the Fuvaros. And I think what this could lead to, and as I already said, Jessica made a good argument concerning this, is that the meta is a bit less combo heavy, and less combo heavy would mean that the grind game is more important, that the games go longer, and it's not like I build my board, can you break it or can't you break it, but because we will see more Fuvalosses, more Maxis, more Purulias and stuff like this, the games will be longer, and longer games definitely give Centurion a good edge, because as I've already showed you, if you can summon Cosmic Blazer Dragon, then this guy will stay forever basically. You can't really get rid of him, and he will continue to gain you advantage through negating stuff and returning and negating once again. So I think in a future meta, not even a meta that is super far off, because this deck is already strong by itself, but in a future meta where we see even more of this Mulch army stuff here, this deck might even be strong stronger. So in my opinion, if you want to go for this deck, maybe you wanted to craft this deck all along and weren't quite sure whether it will be good in the future, I would argue that it's definitely a good deck that is very solid and future proof, especially because of the new support wave that it will get. So if you want to go for Centurion, you can definitely go ahead and do this. Very strong, a really insane one-card combo if you ask me, and then up on 2 Omni Negates that will return every turn, and you have only used basically 1.5 card for this. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you are a fan of Centurion, are you excited for the new support? Let me know. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell, as this would help me out a lot, and we will see each other in the next one, guys.